Hello everyone and welcome to the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. I'm your host Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, and we're bringing you live disc golf action throughout the entire weekend right here on SmashBoxxTV. We're currently in Morton, Illinois, and we are bringing you action from all around the course. We're going to catch up with a few of our different groups, and then we're going to follow in our featured card once they get to roughly hole 10. They started out on hole number 4, all competitors here this morning, and they're playing hole 4 through 18, and then wrapping up on holes 1, 2, and 3. That was easiest for the flow. In just a few moments, we're going to see this group, as I just watched Nate Sexton throw a tee shot. We're going to catch up with them. Again, we're going to bring you a handful of different groups, and then our feature card should be coming through sometime in the next 2 to 4 holes, and then we'll follow them the rest of the way out. We're going to get right to the action. Again, you're watching live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV. And hello everyone, again we are here on hole number 11 out at the Morton course. This is called Northwood Park. We're watching some of our competitors walk up. Looks like we have Kenny Glassman, a previous amateur world champion, going for his birdie 2. And somehow flipping out the right hand side. Looked like a solid attempt there by Kenny. Great birdie here by Nate Sexton. Just a few moments ago, I watched him make a solid birdie putt also on hole number 10. And another amateur world champion in Stephen Jacobs makes good on the birdie 2. Caught up with Nate Sexton. Nate, I don't want to distract you whatsoever, but everything going well out here today?
Well, I mean, hole 5 was a nightmare for our group, and I tried to warn our TD Nate that it would be, but yeah, we ended up with 14 tee shots as a group, so kind of a day ruiner right off the bat, but we're all trying to battle back.
I'm sure you are. Go out and get some more birdies, guys. As we said, Nate Sexton out here on hole number 11. I watched him take the to the tee on hole number 12. Hole 12 is a blind hyzer shot. And we're going to cut over to our secondary camera and check in with Joe Height, who's standing behind the basket on hole number 10. We'd like to again welcome everyone to the broadcast. We have Joe Height on camera, as well as our friend Gary to the O. And again, until we catch up with our featured card, we're going to be bringing you action on holes 10, 11, and 12. See the likes of Kale Leviska, Michael Johansson putting out on hole number 10. Thus far today, I have heard of 2 aces that have come across my path. Both Paige Pierce and Rich Klein have both aced holes. I've been told it was hole 6. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if they were on the exact same course or if they were on different courses here today, but sounds as if they both have aces and they were both on the 6th hole at their respective courses. And we're going to get into position here in just a moment after this group clears out on hole number 10. So far today it has been a gorgeous day out here. Has to be pushing somewhere in the low 80s. Very little wind. Northwood Park is a relatively wooded course with a few open holes, especially on holes number 16 and 18. The rest of the holes out here have a considerable amount of tree coverage, or at least scattered trees. Nate Heinold and his staff have made this course much more difficult this week by putting up all of the yellow rope that you see throughout the entire broadcast. This yellow rope, of course, very reminiscent of what you'd find at the USDGC in October down at Rock Hill, South Carolina. Most of the holes feature a stroke and distance rule out here this weekend, and what that means is if they throw out of bounds, they do not move forward whatsoever, and they get penalized and must throw from that same spot. We've got Michael Johansson on the tee. And Michael Johansson throwing a comet and coming in and deep. He is going to have to throw from the tee again. The spotter hustling down just to get an official confirmation. And just like that, Michael Johansson will be teeing again and throwing for 3 at that point. Very punishing rules out here this weekend. You're going to see some stroke and distance. You're also going to see regular OB rules applied. And Michael Joe's comment, no more than 3 feet out of bounds. And a nearly identical shot coming in. And this is going to stop instead about 6 feet inbounds. Looks as if he's thrown a Discraft Buzz. And the mere 10 feet difference between the 2 throws. This is our favorite Smashy contributor, Dynamite Dana Vici, throwing a perfect drive, landing just 5 feet from the pin. He's going to have an easy tap in birdie 2. And Leviska nearly replicating that shot, instead coming up approximately 20 feet short of the pin. And although straight up the middle, certainly short, Taylor Samala, Team Ledgestone member. He's going to be looking at a long birdie from there. We are glad you are tuned in and joined us here today during our first day of coverage. Again, somewhat unique format. We're going to be mainly stationed in the holes where we find better cellular reception. As with any live broadcast, always our challenges are met by cellular bandwidth, and we found that these are the best places on the course. Holes 5 through 9 are nearly impossible to cover with good cellular bandwidth, so we're going to be out here bringing in our featured card from 10 all the way through hole number 3. Remember, our players started on hole 4 today, so we're excited to bring you all of this action right here on SmashBoxxTV. Go out and share it with your friends. Let everyone know we're live. We've got multiple cameras. We hope to be bringing you some of the best commercials and informational updates throughout the entire weekend. We're just ecstatic to have you. And Taylor Samala with a forehand approach. Not exactly sure as to why he may not have just gone with a simple backhand from that distance. Clearly more comfortable with that shot instead. And as we mentioned, Michael Joe finding himself just 3 feet from the OB line. And Levis got in for the birdie 2. Taylor also in for his par save. And a very simple and short putt here by Dynamite. Beautiful shot by Dynamite Vici.
Thanks, DG guy. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. We just got live. You want to say hi to anyone real quick?
Hi, Ashley, Edith. Love you guys.
All right. Dynamite sending the shout out on the birdie here to his newborn daughter, Edith, as well as his wonderful wife back home, Ashley. Looks as if we have the Viradisc crew who are following this card.
All right, I hear you.
And Big Germ has just put in for his birdie over on hole number 10. And as we just saw a few moments ago, Michael Johansson struggling here on hole number 11, carding a 5 after going OB off his tee shot and then not able to convert off of his second drive he had to throw. Hearing a loud train off in the distance going on behind us. We're over here on hole 11 with Big Germ, Jeremy Coling. For those who did not get a chance to take in all of our sweet live disc golf action last night, Big Germ and Justin Jernigan were nearly unstoppable. They had started out birdieing the first 14 holes. Big Germ has thrown to within side 25 feet. Looks as if we have local stud Gary Patton on the tee. Gary featured in last year's Mad City Open final round coverage. He's found himself out of bounds after attempting the forehand. And a gentleman who spent a lot of time here in the Peoria and Illinois area, in fact, is Johnny McRae. A few weeks ago, Johnny was not able to get into the World Championships. Instead, he stayed here in Peoria and the surrounding area, got some extra practice in. In fact, I saw him out practicing at McNaughton Park, where he was giving a personal lesson to a local gentleman. And here comes Gary with another forehand, and much more effective. He may be able to save bogey from there. Johnny McRae stepping up and firing right away. He needs that to slow down. And it's gone just left of the pin. We're going to have the spotter run it down. However, he's going to ultimately give a red flag for OB. This hole is otherwise a very easy hole. However, with this OB rope that's been added here for the tournament, it's proving to be much more challenging. And a slight correction puts Johnny McRae with inside 20 feet. He's going to be able to save 4 from there. And that is going wide right. And not enough time to come back. That is OB. As we can see this weekend, that stroke and distance can in fact be very punishing to these players. And that is short and likely looking at a double bogey 5. We're glad you are here. As we said today, we're going to catch up with a number of these initial cards that come through. And then once they reach hole 10, we will move on to our featured card, following them on 10 through 18, and then 1, 2, and 3 as they wrap up. Looking forward to a great battle. Naturally, there is not a leader card, so to speak, here today. However, there is a featured card that many of our constituents and people back home wanted to make sure that they could see, featuring Paul McBeth, Paul Ulibarri, along with Justin Jernigan and Nate Doss. And slightly off the mark there. Gary Patton will be up to throw next. He's left with a putt inside 25 feet. And no problems for Gary. And Big Germ converts. Johnny McRae will move on with a bogey 4. And you're watching the unique putting stance of Steve Brinster. And Big Germ's hyzer shot off the tee here on 12 looked a little bit tight. And Gary Patton's tee shot looks very nice. That seems to be exactly where you want to be on this blind hyzer shot. And as our fourth final thrower, we're going to back up to hole number 11. Again, the groups continue to keep rolling in. I know you guys are anxious to see more of the course and more golf. And we are excited to bring it to you as we're waiting for our featured card to come poking out of the woods on hole number 9 here shortly. In the meantime, we've got some great golfers right here on hole 11. Hole 11 is 295 feet. The tree that he was just caught up by, actually, is 228 feet from the tee to that tree, and then 75 feet from the tree to the basket. Some amazing caddy guides. I'd like to take claim for those accurate distances. However, the caddy guides provided to all of our competitors throughout the weekend have some very critical distances listed. And this shot is coming in perfectly within 20 feet of the pin. While we're here, we'd like you to go out and share our link. Let everyone know that you are watching live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV. We're so glad to be here this weekend. Of course, the Ledgestone Open presented by Discraft. We have some amazing partners in broadcasting. Special thanks to the PDGA, as well as Plastic Addicts, Infinite Discs, and dozens of others that we will hear throughout the entire broadcast this weekend. Steve Brinster coming in what looks to be very nicely. I think that's going to finish pin high, and he's left with just inside 30 feet. Appreciate any feedback, of course. Chat with us on the message board. If you're watching us on YouTube on a featured web page or your browser, I personally cannot see those messages, but our producer back in Milwaukee, Johnny V, he'll be taking note of those. Again, virtually no wind out here whatsoever today. Gorgeous day in Morton, Illinois, as the opening round of the Ledgestone Insurance Open kicks off here today. I believe we have Ben Calloway on this card, along with Cameron Colglazer. Trying to identify all the different players as they're walking up. And just a bit deep there on the birdie attempt. All four of these competitors keeping it inbounds. Great putt by Steve Brinster for the two. Cameron Colglazer also making good here on the birdie two. Camera coverage here in just a few moments. We hope that you're enjoying the show thus far. We should be able to follow out our featured card from here on out. However, if we do have to step aside or pick up with another card, that'll of course be due to signal issues. We're excited to be bringing you all this action out here today at the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. You're tuned in right here on SmashBoxxTV. If you're watching on a browser, go ahead and go to the bottom right-hand side, click on the gear button that you may see, and make sure you bump up our signal quality to a full 720. Everything seems to be working great for us here today. We want to have you watching us in the highest possible quality. And again, just click on that gear on the bottom right-hand side, bump it all the way up to 720. Make sure you're interacting with us right there on the SmashBoxxTV chat board. Any pertinent information or critical details that I need to know should be passed on to me by our producer, Johnny V. And as I said, we're going to be catching up with our featured card in just a few moments with our 2-camera coverage. Paul McBeth is putting for birdie on hole number 10. And McBeth makes good. What a beautiful putt by Paul. Paul Ulibarri's step, jump, forward putt comes up just a bit short. And Doss is just off the top of the upper entrapment here on these DGA Mach X baskets. And as our players move over from 10's basket to 11's tee, we must talk about one of the stories here of the day, which is Isaac McDonald with his opening round of 9 under par. Very impressive by the 14-year-old Amateur World's runner-up, Isaac McDonald. He is an Illinois resident, and he has certainly brought his quote-unquote amateur game here to this national tour event. Again, 9 under par. He was leading the tournament until just recently I've caught wind that Zach Melton looks to be your leader in the clubhouse at 11 under par, shooting a 47 here today. Isaac McDonald again with that 49. Nick Austin, Ron Converse, Matthew Kern, Jordan Castro all shooting 51s, which is 7 under par. A very sizable gallery out here today has already formed in this afternoon round. This is our feature card. Again, hoping to be able to follow these players from here all the way through their final hole of the day, hole number 3. I'm going to bring you scoring updates as best as I can. And Justin again coming in, hitting the tree, and after hitting the OB line, he carries left and will find himself OB with penalty stroke. He's going to have to re-tee. Paul McBeth second on the tee. McBeth's rock 3 coming in and just about hits the pole. McBeth carrying no more than 20 feet past the pin after just missing the base of the basket. And Nate Doss looks to have a low release, and although he is inbounds, he's approximately 80 feet from the pin. And Paul Ulibarri with a good-looking shot coming in, and he's going to have a birdie look from there from less than 20 feet. Again, Jernigan re-teeing here. He is throwing for 3 at this point due to the stroke and distance. And again, right out of his hand, he knew he had also released that low. It is in the center. However, right now he's looking to get up and down and card a double bogey 5 here on this 295-foot hole. A few of our other top competitors that are still out on the course, as we just saw a few moments ago, Kale Leviska and Dana Vici both sitting at 5 under par. We see Jeff Bennett as well at 5 under par, and Eric McCabe. Michael Johansson, who had taken a double bogey here on hole number 11, is sitting at 4 under par. And Justin is near the basket. Again, double bogey here for Justin. Doss may give this a light run. And just short, however, a solid run there by Doss. Looks like he was a little frustrated that he came up short of getting over the top of the basket. As I mentioned, Paul Ulibarri is looking at a likely birdie here, and McBeth are about the same distance from the pin. And Yuli with the easy 2. And as usual, Paul making it look easy. Justin will be taking the double bogey 5. And Doss with the 3. We've got 2 threes, correction, 2 birdie 2s, a 3, and a double bogey 5. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move off of hole 11. Hope that you enjoyed the action from holes 10 and 11. We're going to move over here to 12, get into position on this blind hyzer shot. McBeth saying that this is a long hole at 252. However, I called it a blind hole.
Tell me next time, it's gonna be tucked in and everything. 5 Ulibarri. Hot in those woods and muggy.
McBeth telling us it was hot and muggy out in the woods. McBeth with a high right shot that gets hung up by a tree. And Paul Ulibarri's got to be happy with that shot. Again, 252 feet. This is a blind hyzer. moving from right to left. And Doss hits the same tree that Paul does, however he filters through a little more cleanly. And that looks to be a great shot by Justin Jernigan as we move down the fairway. Again, catching up with our competitors here on hole number 12. Very sizable gallery. Also, many people out here watching a number of our other stacked cards. The rounds started early this morning, 7:20. We saw the first professional males tee off this morning, a 7:20 tee time. I believe they go as late as after 3 p.m. as today. And right out of his hand, McBeth knew it was short. And left side chain for Doss here on hole 12. McBeth taps in. Justin Jernigan is going to be tapping in here as well. He's left with less than 15 feet for his birdie. And as that falls in, Nate Doss will take his 3. We're going to stand down for just a few moments, take a listen from a word from our amazing broadcast sponsors here. You're watching opening round coverage right here at the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Andrew Gibson, you should have featured me on SmashBoxxTV.
Caught up with Isaac McDonald, the 14-year-old phenom here. And Isaac, just a few moments ago I was talking about you. You were leading this entire tournament with 9 under. I think we just saw an 11 under come in, but let's hear about your round today.
It was pretty solid. I mean, my drives could have been a little bit better, and my up shots could have been closer.
So not perfect.
Not perfect.
You got to be happy with that round overall. What does it feel like knowing you have one of the best scores here at such a large event?
It's pretty awesome. Being a second in the world in amateur and then playing pro and shooting one of the hot scores. It's awesome.
So everybody's got to be wondering at home. You finished second just a few weeks ago here at the Amateur World Championships taking place in Michigan, and now you're playing in a national tour. Are you going to continue to play pro, or are you going to move, or are you going to stay in that amateur ranking?
I'm going to stay in the amateur ranking until I win, and then I'm just going to move up to pro but not take cash.
Okay.
And take the merchandise.
All right. Anything else any foresights? What are you thinking about for tomorrow's round? You're going to McNaughton in the morning, and then you're going to have another round here in the afternoon. What are your sights on?
For McNaughton, get my 2s when I can and take my 3s when I need to.
Okay. All right. Would you like to improve on that 9 under out here tomorrow at Northwood when you come out here in the afternoon tomorrow?
Yeah, but I would rather shoot the same score too, because it was a pretty good round.
All right, well, that is Isaac McDonald. He was your runner-up just a few weeks ago at the Amateur World Championships. We're here on the par 4, hole number 13. We're going to get back to the action in just a few moments. Again, we wish you the best of luck the rest of the weekend, pal.
Thank you.
All right, let's get back to it. And Paul McBeth puts down a roller, however, it seemed to have turned over a little quicker than he was hoping for. Nate Doth, fourth to tee. And Doss with a very nice looking air shot. He was looking for a little bit more carry on that. However, he's going to be happy with being in the center of the fairway here on the 603-foot hole number 13. This is considered a par 4 out here this weekend. We're going to see par 4s on both holes 16 and 18. We're also going to see more stroke and distance OB rope found on hole number 14 on the next hole, that is. then over to see hole number 10's putt, which is Simon Lizotte. Looks like Ricky Wysocki will be putting on my immediate right as well. And Ricky from nearly 50 feet is off the top of the basket. And Nate Doss with a very nice looking shot. Placed himself right next to the pin here. He's looking at a tap in birdie 3. Uli gets a clap from the gallery, taking it all in. And McBeth with a somewhat of a tricky forehand. Apologize for any microphone noise that you may hear at the moment. We're going to get that addressed as soon as possible. Jernigan asking if he is outside the 10-meter circle. Great putt there by Justin Jernigan. Solid putt by Nate Doss. And Paul McBeth with an easy 3 here. Nate's shot had carried further than it looked from when he had approached. And there you have it. That is hole 13 as we pan off and show you some of the gallery and all of the spectators that are out here taking in the action. Hole 14's tee shot is somewhat near the start of their round as the competitors began on the 4th hole of this Northwood course. This hole again features stroke and distance penalty with the yellow ropes. We're going to move into position and, as we mentioned before, give you 2 camera coverage from here on out. You're watching live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV.
Yes, indeed. You earned it.
Justin Jernigan confirming he has the honors here. 321 feet, hole 14. And Justin getting a green flag here. McBeth with a safe forehand. Nate Doss also with a forehand. And Paul Ulibarri finds himself inbounds. Certainly different pressures here this weekend as we're finding these stroke and distance holes. Players knowing that if they go OB anywhere off of their tee shot, they must throw from where they previously were, which in this case would be the tee shot. So stroke and distance, very punishing. Solid gallery out here. Gorgeous day in Morton, Illinois. Everybody taking in the first round here at the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. We're excited to bring you coverage tomorrow from Sunset Hills Golf Course. I'm going to be following the leader card of the pro women. Sunday we will be at the Lake Eureka temporary course in the morning, as well as the final 9 in the afternoon. And Paul McBeth, wide right, however, short of the OB line. If you go OB, again, stroke and distance, meaning you'd have to throw from where you were previously standing. So had that carried out of bounds on McBeth, he would have had to throw from the exact same spot with penalty. And Justin's putt carried OB. Seems to be some clarification amongst the group members. McBeth going to verify in the caddy book. And even with a slight correction, it looks like Justin just off to the right-hand side. Nate Doss will tap in for his par 3, as will Paul McBeth. We're going to position both behind the tee as well as behind the basket here on hole number 15. You're watching live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV. We'll be back with you in just a few moments after a word from our sponsors.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
Paul McBeth on the tee here, throwing a McPro Rock 3. And although he released it somewhat high, it's coming in nicely. Catches a late tree. This is Nate Doss with a titanium buzz. Uli throwing his M2. And this is Justin Jernigan throwing a ZXL. And Jernigan's ZXL is straight up the middle, slightly on that left-hand side. However, this 270-foot, beautifully framed shot looks like it will provide plenty of challenge for these competitors here. Of course, we're hoping that you're enjoying the coverage here today. This is the opening round at the Ledgestone Insurance Open. Making sure that our cameramen are quick and nimble. We all kind of pounce like kittens, both Joe and myself. That's at least what I've been told anyway. And Jernigan's birdie attempt is short and left. And McBeth is in. No fear with the sloping hill behind him. Paul McBeth will take the only birdie here on hole number 15. Solid uphill putt by Justin Jernigan to save his par. And the rest of the card cleans up for their pars. We have a little bit of a lengthy walk actually to hole 16. We're going to be back with you in just a few moments after you hear a word from our amazing sponsors.
Plastic Addicts, Illinois' largest disc golf store with over 5,000 discs in inventory and 2 locations. Our main store is in North Pekin, right off of Interstate 474. The second location is conveniently located just across the street from Bradley Park in Peoria. We carry all major disc brands, bags, custom apparel, stools, baskets, and more. Plastic Addicts is proud to support local tournaments, courses, and players from all over the country. Plastic Addicts, for all your disc golf cravings.
How you doing? It's Nate Heinel with Ledgestone Insurance. Seriously though, if you need good insurance, give me a call. Look us up on Facebook. Our website is ledgestonegrp.com. If you live in Indiana or Wisconsin or Illinois, I guarantee we can save you money most of the time. So look us up, give us a call, support the title sponsor of this event for the 5th straight year.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here in the middle of hole number 16, which measures in over 600 feet. We've caught up with the card that is directly in front of our featured card. I believe I just saw Steve Brinster throw from the left side. We also have Cameron Kohlglazer on this card. He may be the one throwing off on the left-hand side. This hole throws up and to a basket perched on the hillside. Correction, that may have been Ben Calloway. Thanks again for tuning in here today to SmashBoxx TV. We're going to be bringing you live coverage of the women's leader card tomorrow morning over at Sunset Hills Golf Course. We're also going to be bringing you action on Sunday morning at the Lake Eureka course. And I've been informed that our featured card is getting ready to throw here. We have Paul McBeth on the tee. Paul throwing his gray swirly Star Destroyer. The other night, Paul letting us know that he has 7 Destroyers in his bag. And a very nice shot into the right-hand side of the fairway. Nate Doss throwing a green, I believe, Z Predator. Nate carries a number of Predators, all at various levels of beatness. That's not to be confused with Nate's Dre's beatness, as his shot's coming in very long and just inches away from where we are standing. That is, in fact, a green Z Force, however. So thanks for making me look silly there, Nate. And Justin Jernigan with a very nice shot right out into the center of the fairway, exactly where you want to be. And again, I stand corrected. I believe that was actually Paul Ulibarri. I apologize. This is Justin Jernigan. And with not nearly as much distance, but still as much accuracy, is Justin's shot. I hope that you are enjoying our opening round coverage here today. Of course, the largest disc golf payout in history, all thanks to Ledgestone Insurance Group. One of the amazing components of this event is not only is this going to be the single richest disc golf payout in all of our sports history, but Nate Heinold and Ledgestone Insurance are also planning on making a $20,000 contribution to the St. Jude chapter here in Peoria, Illinois. So not only are our players being rewarded with Nate's tremendous fundraising efforts, but as well as a great charity. As many of you know, earlier this year we teamed up with the Professional Disc Golf Association to host the St. Jude Disc Golf Invitational in Seaside, California, with disc golfers raising almost $250,000 for the St. Jude Research Hospital. And for the first time today, coming off of the hillside and beyond, we feel a slight right to left breeze for the players as they are looking at the basket. Jernigan is first to throw. And Justin wishing he had a little bit more power on that. He's come up at least 30 feet short of the pin. If you're playing Disc Golf Guy Smashbox Bingo this weekend, I'm going to be jacking up your card throughout the entire weekend, breaking all of my old habits of sayings and cliches out here this weekend. You're going to be sitting there a long time waiting on that last bingo card or square out here. Paul McBeth with a forehand. Nicely placed within 15 feet. Nate Doss looking to do the same with his Z-Force. And just past the pin. Paul Ulibarri with the furthest drive in the group. On the forehand and right next to the pin. Now mind you, I have never actually clicked on the SmashBoxxTV DG Guy bingo card, so I'm not certain as to all of the exact phrases. However, I've got a pretty good idea of what most of them are. We're glad you could tune in though. We want you to be sharing our links. Go out, do so on Facebook, Twitter. Find some old friends on classmates.com, Grindr, Tinder, whatever you need to do. Swipe right for SmashBoxxTV. And Jernigan just a bit short. And in very uncharacteristic fashion, we see Paul McBeth missing a short putt. Easy cleanup for Nate Doss, taking the birdie 3. A little fist bump between Doss and Yuli. We're also catching wind of a backup on 17. 17 being a very tight, narrow, wooded hole that also is uphill. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. They are through hole 16. They have 17, 18, 1, 2, and 3 to play out here at the Northwood Park. You're watching opening round coverage, the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. We've got a slight backup. We're going to move into position for you. While we're doing that, why don't you go out and tell some friends to tune in. We're watching live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV. We've caught up with one of our sponsors and huge supporters in the sport of disc golf, and that is Matt Seary of Heiser Bomb Bags and Discs and everything you're doing, tournaments. I was thinking about all the things that you do, but anyway, we're here with Matt. But this weekend, you're playing.
I am.
Tell us about that.
rare opportunity. I actually got talked into it at Glassblown. Madison Walker and Jesse Weiss and I were talking, and they're like, man, just take it and play instead of working. So still doing a little bit of work, but at the same time kind of up here enjoying it, get to play and just take it all in.
And I've seen you at a number of events. Not only have you had me come to Texas, but I've seen you at the Glassblown. I saw you at the Vibram. You're out there working hard. Tell us some of the new advancements and developments in your life and in the business.
Well, besides, so you, like I'd already told you, started June, I went full-time in the sport. So I'm in-house with Millennium up in Kansas. Really just kind of grinding full-time now. Had our newest disc drop just in the last month, the Moab, which is a super overstable 6-speed. Actually, probably legitimately maybe the most overstable disc on the market now.
Wow, that says a lot.
It does. Already working on next year's Nick Hyde Memorial. Kind of waiting to hear from these guys behind us on whether I get the NT or not.
Hint, hint.
Right. Fingers are definitely crossed on that one. And then I've got a couple more events still on the works for this year.
All right. I'll go ahead and let you give a quick plug since they're watching the Ledgestone event right now. If they wanted to come to one of your events in the next upcoming months. Anyone in particular? Anyone that hasn't sold out yet?
Yeah, actually next month is probably one of the better ones. We've got the Heiser Twist at Cedar Hill with Mount Lebanon. Mount Lebanon is a private course, and we're lucky enough to be the first people outside of Dynamic Discs who helped design the course to get to use it for a tournament. Joe Rotan from Innova and Twisted Flyer is joining me down there to help co-run it. It's a good one.
Okay.
3 of the best courses in Dallas.
All right. Well, some say I'm one of the busier guys in disc golf, and I know what you're up to. I know you're certainly one of the busiest guys in disc golf. We appreciate all the support, whether it's here at SmashBoxx or at all the different tournaments you've been to. And go on and enjoy yourself. Have a good weekend and shoot some good golf this weekend.
As always, thank you for the work and working with us. Enjoy the week yourself.
All right. Well, there you go. Again, that is Matt Seary from Heiserbaum. He's doing big things in the sport of disc golf. He's now committed full-time, and we're going to go ahead and say he's going to take down the intermediate division this weekend.
Hope so.
I'll call it now. I've caught up with Nate Heinold, our tournament director here at the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. And Nate, I know this has been a labor of love. You've been working on it for literally 2 years. Talk a little bit about the tournament, what it means to you.
Yeah, it's it's exhausting, but it's just, I'm at the home stretch now. I can look at my to-do list, and it's basically show up and actually enjoy some of the play and the coverage and solve problems. And it's just amazing to get to this point. The weather looks beautiful. The forecast looks amazing. We have all these amazing players, 19 of the top 25 men in the world, 12 of the top 13 females. You really can't find a better field, and we're just thrilled that they're playing these great courses of ours, and it's exciting that it's here. So,
would it be fair to say that you would not recommend anyone else take on this type of task? I mean, this has been pretty crazy.
I would say if it's their full-time job, you know, if they are doing it for a living, which I do not do. I don't make any money off the event, so if they were doing it for a living, you know, I still wouldn't even recommend it. So, but it's been mostly good experience, you know, sometimes frustrating, long hours into the night. This week will be whatever 24 hours times 7 is, will be my work week this week, but it's been a great experience.
Well, you've been doing a great job. Everyone is here in the greater Peoria area enjoying the action. And let's speak to something that's very uplifting and exciting. You're talking about a $20,000 check to the St. Jude Research Hospital in the Peoria chapter.
Yep.
That's got to feel really good.
Yeah, it does. You know, we had a press conference today, and the St. Jude staff were there from the local office, and you know, Molly came up to me and just gave me a big hug because she is just thrilled with our event, and they're able to support them, and they have a large hospital here in Peoria that helps so many people. And you know, it's somebody asked me why we support St. Jude and why I picked that charity, and they just do so much for children, you know, and that's just very important. So it's just a great cause.
All right. Well, Nate Heinold is almost going to collapse from exhaustion. We're here at the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. He's doing an amazing job. Let's go ahead and get right back to the act. And welcome back, everyone. We are here on hole number 17, 330 feet uphill. And we're going to get back to the action.
4.
And again, as you can see here on hole number 17, a very tight and narrow fairway. These competitors are going uphill. Hole measures in at 330 feet. We saw Ben Calloway's drive, which was headed toward the right-hand side, get a very nice kiss off of a tree and continue toward the basket. Steve Brinster not as fortunate. We find Steve on the left-hand side of the fairway. Brinster with a challenging angle here to attack the pin. And he fades left of the pin.
Is there only right there?
Yeah, they just got mad for everybody talking over there.
Did they really?
I'm like, there's like 200 people over there.
Why don't they say something?
Yeah. This is just carefully, probably 2 bad shots.
Well, yeah, just don't pick his bag up.
Yeah, he's like that first tree.
Is it Tiger Surfing or is it Kardashian?
Not sure. That's Tiger's one.
As we were watching this card throw their final shots here on hole 17, make sure you tune into the Disc Golf Guy video blog channel. At latest, by tomorrow morning, we will have an abridged version of this round. Thanks to the support from Tony, who has been following this card for in its entirety, including all 18 holes, which will also feature holes 5 through 9, where we were not following them during our live broadcast. So you'll be able to watch the entire round by tomorrow morning. Just check out the Disc Golf Guy on YouTube. And our featured card is making their way toward the tee here. Solid putt by Ben Calloway. And of course, we have the Plastic Addicts LIS10 coupon code. You can use all weekend. Get you 10% off any of the Ledgestone limited edition releases. Huge thanks to our supporters in Plastic Addicts. That's Johnny Harrison right here in Peoria, Illinois.
So there's 4, or was that 3? Did he hit early? Yeah. He was on this side of the hill. Spin stick. He got mad at, I guess they were saying he got mad at the gallery. Or us. For talking. He was saying. What is it? In that case, the only person you should be mad at yourself. All you gotta do is...
As I had mentioned earlier, the PDGA had teamed up with the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and Nate Heinold also contributing $20,000 to the Peoria chapter. We have some very unique discs that were stamped and provided for at that event and afterwards as fundraisers. One of Paul's McBeth's go-to drivers is a blue Champion Thunderbird. You'll be seeing him throw that in a few moments here on hole number 17.
There's a lot of other things to do.
And as the players are cleared out on the basket of hole number 17, we're going to be live here in just a few moments with our tee shots from our featured card.
Your elbow hurting?
And Doss misses the tree on the left-hand side. However, he could have used a little more height with his Z Predator. This is Uli throwing an F2. And McBeth catches one of the last trees on the left-hand side. And Justin puring his shot straight up the middle. Textbook throw here on hole number 17. Justin was a resident of this area for a number of years. Of course, grew up playing in North Carolina and is used to throwing in these tight wooded areas. Moved to Peoria for a position with Caterpillar. However, recently moved away, I believe, to the Atlanta, Georgia area. However, Justin coming back for the event. Justin struggled with a blister on his hand during the World Championships and actually had to withdraw from the event. And Ulibarri is going to have some work to do here as he's on this left-hand side. He kicked one of the trees and then carried further left. And a great looking shot by Uli. Really not much to work with from that left-hand side, however. Solid effort here by Paul. And we can feel some headwind here as McBeth is approaching to the 17th pin. And Paul making good here. Beautiful par recovery by Ulibarri. And Justin's birdie attempt is on the right-hand side. He's going to have to settle for a par. However, very different mentality by Ulibarri, as he is going to be more than content with a par after that less than ideal drive off the tee. Nate cleans up. And all of our competitors. That is hole number 17. We're going to be back with you in just a few moments after a word from our sponsors. Stay tuned. You're watching first round coverage at the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open, presented by Discraft.
me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
And welcome back, everyone. We are here on hole number 18. We're waiting on our card in front of us to move up the fairway before our featured card here is ready to tee. And for just a moment, looks like we're getting the wave forward here. We're getting a thumbs up, at least from one of the cameramen. Paul Ulibarri with a phenomenal save on the previous hole, hole number 17. Looks like Nate Doss is on the tee and ready to go. Doss lacing a drive straight up the center of the fairway. Exactly what he's looking to do. And Paul Ulibarri, great looking shot. Almost a little too much carry, however, he's going to have a great view of the basket from there. Paul with his choice of destroyers on the tee. Paul looking for a little bit more turn on that. That is carrying deep. He may find himself way off into the rough on the far side of the fairway. This is JJ throwing a nuke, ESP flavored that is. And our tournament director, Nate Heinold, asking for that to flip a little bit.
It opens up over there.
And solid tee shot here by JJ. We're going to have a little bit of a walk to hole number 18's fairway. We're going to follow with the rest of the crowd.
What's that? Yeah,
And as we're walking, we're going to do our best not to fall on our faces. However, I'm going to catch up with Nate Heinold to have a quick conversation and talk with our TD. Nate Heinold, heard a little bit of drama on hole number 5, and I'm not talking about the rules. I'm talking a little bit about some Mother Nature. What happened out there?
Well, the featured group had just teed off, and I was monitoring stuff at other courses, and we probably had 80 people walking towards the basket on 4, and the group ahead, we weren't sure had teed off yet, and all of a sudden we heard a large crack, and you could hear it probably from 1,000 feet away, and we heard the following boom of probably an 80-year-old oak, probably a handful of feet in diameter around, had crashed right onto 5's tee. So Michael Downs PDJ event manager, myself, sprinted down the fairway, and other people sprinted, and obviously we had thought maybe there was some injuries because we got up there and it was an enormous tree. It was a live tree. It wasn't dead. Don't know how it fell, but fortunately no one was there at the time. We cleaned it up a little bit. Mike and I kind of got our hands dirty and pushed it out of the way a little bit as much as we could. And then I called the park right away, and they chainsawed the rest to get it playable. We didn't have any laps in play, but Mike and I were both holding our breath just because that tree would have, probably killed a few people if it had been a direct impact. It was a large tree, so very scary moment, and fortunately no one was hurt. So,
well, as you said, fortunately no one was hurt. Also, no significant laps in play, and that just speaks volumes of the amazing collaborative effort that we get from everyone, all hands on deck.
Yep.
Not only yourself and Michael Downs from the PDJ, but also the Parks Department to be on top of it, to get out here to help you out. Can you speak to the efforts that they've provided before this event?
Yeah, I mean, I called Joel, who's the Park District Director, and they were literally out here in 10 minutes with a chainsaw and a tractor. We didn't need the tractor, but Downs was just great. He was just cared about safety, so did I, and, just said, glad no one was hurt, so.
And even better, no insurance claims filed, even at Ledgestone Insurance Open.
Yeah, I hear that Ledgestone has great insurance, though, but we didn't want to have anybody injured there, so didn't know JJ was doing. JJ's got his favorite ESP nuke here.
It's going to need a little bit more power.
35 short, not too bad.
And speaking to the insurance or insurance claims, obviously you and your company have contributed a tremendous amount of effort, energy, and added cash to this event, the largest payout in PDGA history. If somebody was in the area and was looking for an insurance quote, how should they go about that?
Yeah, they can go to our website, ledgestonegrp.com, or they can find us on Facebook. And if they're in Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, they can give us a call and we can save them some money. So this weekend we're having a promotion. If you call us for a quote, we'll give you a free disc. So.
And as Nate Heinold has just instructed us, you can get a free disc simply for calling in and getting a quote for your insurance needs if you live in any of those states he mentioned.
I was surprised to see those two on
there. And Uli, somewhat with an unforced error here, as he put himself in a nearly perfect position after that drive. And seems as if he has hung it a little too far to the right there.
This is we have a great gallery out here. This is phenomenal to see all these people supporting disc golf in the Peoria area, and awesome to see all these people out here.
And Paul McBeth trying to find a way out, and he has done just that. What an effort by Paul McBeth to find himself. Nate, you usually find yourselves in the shul or the trees. Is that a spot you're familiar with over there?
Actually, I'm usually in the right pine trees up by the road, so I've never been over there, and I would have never gotten it that close. So How does he do it?
I don't know, but Paul McBeth, who doesn't feel like he's necessarily been perfectly on point today, makes a great shot out of that left-hand fairway, or shall I say the edge of the fairway on that left-hand side. Uli with a great putt here, again to save par. Actually, technically, that would be considered a birdie here.
Back-to-back great putts there by Paul.
And elevator going down for Nate Doss. Came in just a bit on the high side for that, however, still able to make the birdie putt. And what a birdie save. McBeth with a grin on his face as he knows that was a tremendous effort to get up and down and still card the birdie. And these four showing you why they are the top professionals in our game. Great putt by Justin Jernigan. We're going to stand down for just a few moments. We're going to move over to hole number 1. They just have holes 1, 2, and 3 in what I like to call the wooded triangle. Stay tuned. You're watching the first round coverage of the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft.
Plastic Addicts, Illinois' largest disc golf store with over 5,000 discs in inventory and 2 locations. Our main store is in North Pekin, right off of Interstate 474. The second location is conveniently located just across the street from Bradley Park in Peoria. We carry all major disc brands, bags, custom apparel, stools, baskets, and more. Plastic Addicts is proud to support local tournaments, courses, and players from all over the country. Plastic Addicts, for all your disc golf cravings.
How you doing? It's Nate Heinel with Ledgestone Insurance. Seriously though, if you need good insurance, give me a call. Look us up on Facebook. Our website is ledgestonegrp.com. If you live in Indiana or Wisconsin or Illinois, I guarantee we can save you money most of the time. So look us up, give us a call, support the title sponsor of this event for the 5th straight year.
What's that?
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
Back here on hole number 1, Nate Doss on the tee. Great shot by Paul Ulibarri. In just a moment, we'll be catching up with our favorite Smashy contributor, Dana Vici.
Yeah, that's right. I got you. You took it through, right? Yeah, I teed off last the previous hole.
McBeth on the tee.
Come on, man. Look at your shot. What are you doing? Oh, not high enough.
And JJ looking for a little bit more height. Looks like he gets a good kick off the tree and is going to move toward the fairway. As we walk down the fairway along with our competitors, I'm going to catch up with our favorite, most recent father, one Dana Vici. How are we doing today, buddy?
Doing good. I'm really your favorite contributor.
You're standing next to me, so I think it's the right thing to say.
It's like the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
You know, and so many people say that we give you a hard time on the podcast every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock. There's our plug. But it's all in good fun. Everybody knows that, well, should know that we actually have a very good relationship, and we just enjoy a little Illinois-Wisconsin rivalry once in a while.
Oh, yeah. It's all in good fun, for the most part, until you really insult me.
That's true. I am good at that.
So it looks like Paul McBeth he's got his work cut out for him right here. He threw a pretty terrible drive, and he's being rewarded with a terrible upshot. Terrible looking.
Little forehand action coming out that looks like it's going to be a little strong. Yeah. Let me tell you this, however, Dana. He threw a less than amazing drive on the last hole, and he still walked away with a birdie 3.
That's when you're the best in the world, you usually don't throw 2 bad ones in a row.
And birdie.
Yeah.
And Doss has a window on the right-hand side. Perfectly punches through it. Looks like he's gone just a bit deep. However, he should be able to recover from there. Dana, talk a little bit about your round today.
I came out the gates pretty good and played my front 12 pretty strong and limped in here at the finish line.
So by that account, I'm guessing you were 12 down and then finished 12 down. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think I ended up shooting a 6 under. Now 6 under, and then just basically parred out from like hole 13, 12.
And fully committed was Paul Ulibarri, as nothing but hillside behind him. Great putt.
Has he been going with the Anheuser all day?
It has been for the most part, and it's been working exceptionally well in the last few holes. Some solid putts here by Paul Ulibarri.
Wow, looks like Paul McBeth got lucky, caught himself a tree because there is a hill here. Nate Doss did catch a little bit of a roll. He's got a 28-footer here. 29.
You know how I like to guess those numbers, pal.
Weak side, catch, Mach X. You don't see that often.
And McBeth able to get up and down even after a less than stellar drive. McBeth and I had we'll call it an interesting conversation the other night during the podcast. And, well, you're just going to have to go back to Tuesday night's podcast and listen in and see what was all said. But
what podcast number was that?
Man, that might have been podcast number 49, Dana. It's been a pretty wild ride as you and I are going to walk down, or you're going to fall down as we move over to hole number 2's tee. It's been a pretty wild ride for the last 8 to 9 months since we opened our SmashBoxxTV podcast. We're glad that everyone was tuned in and taking it all in for the last 49 episodes. Dana, you've been a great contributor to the show, and people have been loving your segment. You got anything special planned for our 50th?
I don't know. I'm going to have to get back and do some research. It's been a minute since I've sat down at the computer Ulibarri with the beautiful step putt. That had to be about a 34-footer. Walked it through right in the chains. This is one of the fastest greens on the course, so if you're going to go for it, you definitely want to make it because it could definitely hit and roll and come back at you or even further behind you.
And McBeth making it look easy. Anything inside 30 feet, you can pretty much count.
Ridiculous.
I think we're going to see a star frame here, Dana.
Yeah, these 1, 2, and 3 right here, it's a great opportunity to get a couple twos, and these guys are showing us how to do it here on hole 2. Expect some more on hole 3.
All right, we're going to move over to our 18th and final hole here during the competitors round. We hope that you've enjoyed the show today. We're not going to be on much longer after this. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Got to thank Johnny V back at the controls, Joe Height, and Gary to the O. Everyone working on our crew. Our entire crew consists of 4 people today, bringing you our 2-camera coverage right here during this opening round.
Isaac, what are you doing?
I think it's bladder. It's bladder infection.
Yeah. Yep, I took care of that.
There's some good ones in the beginning.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Always. Yeah, good looking out.
Yep. Oh, nice playing with you. Yeah, you're such a swinger, sweaty guy. I don't know. I don't know. Clear? Yes, we are. Clear.
And Yuli's disc kicks off into the left-hand side after a slight misfire.
Yeah. Park.
Wow. And Nate Doss just gets skinny on the right-hand side of the tree. He thought he may have clipped it. Instead, park job. And McBeth also on the right-hand side. However, he gets a kick to the left. And taking the Doss route is Justin Jernigan. He's going to be happy with that.
prior to Paul McBeth's shot, he turned to Isaac and he said, "I'm gonna have to ace this to tie you on the round." And I kind of thought that if he got past that tree that he kissed, it was heading at the bucket. But he'll probably have about a 50-footer left, 50, 60-footer here in the woods. So, you think he's gonna capitalize?
You know, I think if he's got a line or a clean look at the basket, heck, I don't even know if it has to be clean actually, but I think if there's a chance for him to put it in, I would say there's a probability of that happening. And just getting over the basket is Paul McBeth. That is a birdie for him to complete the round. He's still going to be down one.
8 under par.
He will still be down one to Isaac McDonald, that is, after Dana had filled us in on the previous conversation. This is Nate Doss for birdie. And no problems for Nate Doss. Great shot here on the final hole of his round. Ulibarri will put in for his 3, and Justin with a little 4-footer to complete his round. We're going to move out and have the players tabulate their scores and then catch up with one or more of them before we can close out the show here today. We'd like to thank you guys for sticking with us and enjoying this first round opening coverage here.
A lot of shit can happen. 5 and 2 fours. And 5 and 4. Shot deep. Like I didn't really miss. Just like a stuck link. Oh really? Yeah. It was like stuck up. So with those small things, you can't see it. You just hit it and it came back out. I don't feel like I missed any putts. Shit never happens with this catcher. No, they don't get cut.
Check those.
But yeah, I don't think I missed any putts today that I should have made. Minus that one. I don't think I missed it. Check.
Snuck it back into the A pool.
Yeah, I saw you still twitching. I need to pull on maybe hyperextend and pop it out. I've been trying to like
3, 4, 5, 6. Another one, dude.
Are you freaking kidding me? That was nowhere near to the course though.
No.
See it right there moving around.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Wow.
That's the fourth one in my life that I've heard.
That's the second one today.
It's the second one. So I've had 2 others outside of this.
We could have got killed.
Yeah, y'all missed about 5 minutes.
Imagine if we had the gallery on
Oh, I know, dude.
Yeah.
Somebody was going down.
A few people. Oh, wait, everyone can't scatter.
Oh, I was like, what? Hi, Terrence.
Can you imagine if that landed on the pad though?
Oh, man.
It just landed right off the pad.
Just y'all go live with us?
We're live right now, Brian.
Oh, shit.
Brian, even better.
Wait. Folded under the pressure. He folded.
All right, we're going to nix the interview with Brian Schweberger, that's for sure.
Wow, no force.
Yeah, right?
No force.
Been a while.
Who, you, Nick? Yeah, no force. Nice, she's 3-4, huh?
Yep.
That's awesome.
We did.
I mean, hole 5, yeah.
Him and
5,
Jensen.
5, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, in just a few moments, we're going to catch up with some of the card mates here. We'll take any and all that would like to talk. If they've got a moment, I'm going to see if they're going to turn in their
I
card.
think 57 is going to be the cut, I think.
And he went birdie to make the
All right, we're going to catch up with a few of them. Paul's going to go turn in the card. You want to just stay tuned for just a moment. All right, we're going to move in. We're going to catch up here with, we don't need any of that, do we?
Let's just help you out.
There we go. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Nate. All right, we're catching up with some of the leader or feature card players, maybe some of the leaders as well. I got Nate Doss. Nate, did I just overhear you say no 4s that round?
Yeah. I don't know, I mean, hole 5 is kind of the one you really got to get by. But, the thing about all the courses we're playing this week, it's like, seems like every turn you could take a bad kick and easily get a 4 or 5. So,
Or find some stroke and distance.
Yeah, or what, there's a lot of goofy things going on out there. But, I feel fortunate to have gotten a few good kicks here and there and made a few good putts and a few good shots, definitely.
And your final score was?
50-5-0. So 4 2s and a bunch of 3s.
All right. Justin, yesterday you were out here for the doubles, and you said that Big Germ was kind of helping you out a little bit. He didn't have your back today. How'd it go out there?
I thought it went better than planned, so definitely a lot better than yesterday. I had 2 holes that really were bad, stroke and distance, so I can thank Nate Heimel for that. But other than that, I thought I played pretty well, putted well, drove pretty solid, played a lot better than yesterday, so I'm pretty happy with where I'm at.
Any concerns coming back? I know you lived here in the area for a while, and now you've moved away, so you actually had to travel back here to compete. How did that feel?
It was kind of odd, especially not traveling for work, because I, worked in the Peoria area for a while, and but it was nice coming here and not having to worry about work and just be able to play. So very nice.
All right, and Paul, it looked like you were a little bit off the tee on a few spots, but you were making up for your putting. Tell us what was happening out there.
Yeah, I caught a couple kicks in the beginning. Overcorrected a shot on hole 5, and that's one that, like he said, you really want to get by, and I ended up taking a 6, but I was actually happy with the 6 I took, given I still kept with my game plan and laid up through the hole. I think it could have been a lot worse, and like you said, I made some good putts today, but I'm happy with my round. I shot 55, which is a ways off the lead, but for the way I played, I'm happy.
All right. Anything you'd like to say to, I know your friends and family, you got a lot of support out there. Anything you'd like to say to everyone out there?
Oh, yeah, I love you. Thank you for watching today. And, Mom, I love you. Thank you for watching. She's a big supporter of me. So.
Yeah, she is. She's always out there watching. We're glad to have her. Justin, anything you'd like to say to any fans or family out there?
Thanks to my mom as well and my wife watching. I'm sure they're watching. So, Smashbox, love what you guys do.
Appreciate it. Nate, before you thank anyone out there, any updates from your wife? We know she's out competing this weekend as well at the top level. Have you had any updates? I know you're not a big phone guy during the round, but do you know anything?
No, I haven't heard anything. Knowing Val, I'm sure she did just fine. Okay. She's ready to play. So, we'll see. We usually don't talk about it really at all too much. You just say, how was your day? And move on. So.
You leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Anyone you'd like to thank out there?
My family knows that I love them, and I know they love me. But I just gotta tell everybody, drink craft beer. That's the best beer out there.
All right. Well, that's there's your pro tip of the day by Nate Doss. We may or may not catch up. We're gonna let Paul do his thing. He's turning in the scorecard. Paul McBeth also shot a 50. Shot a solid score. Tomorrow morning, we're going to go out to Sunset Hills, the golf course, and we're going to watch the leader card of the Pro Women division, and we're going to see how they do tomorrow morning, so make sure you tune in there. I believe the round starts at 9 a.m., so we'll be live just before that. So for all of our gentlemen here on this card, for Johnny V back home, Joe Height on the camera, along with Gary to the O working the other camera, I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the Pro Women's Leader card when you step inside the Smash Box.
Smash it.
Smash Box.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank you, gentlemen.